Hey guys, so this is my review for the film Last Action Hero, which was made in 1993, which is, I think, a bad trait of the cinema club that all the films were picking are late to mid 90s films, which, don't really have great reputation in my eyes. But yeah, so this film is going to be very difficult for me to, kind of explain. It's one of those movies which is about a movie within a movie. So when I'm trying to explain what's happening, it may get very confusing, but just try and bear with me. So this film is based around the main character of Danny, who's about Danny something. He's like a probably 12-year-old little kid, and he has an obsession with like movies, and in particular this movie called Jack Slater, the Jack Slater series, which Jack Slater is played, because this is the movie within the movie, is called Jack Slater, and he is played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, who also cameos in the normal movie as himself, but also plays this guy. Okay, I'll go a bit further now. And the whole twist in the movie is when this boy Danny finds some crazy voodoo stuff and transports himself into the film whilst he's watching it. And instead of like going onto the movie set, it becomes this fictional world where everything happening in the movie is happening in real time, if that makes sense. So he enters the world of the movie, and of the movie Jack Slater. And the whole of the film consists of him helping out Jack Slater in a crazy action movie way. But one thing I really enjoyed about the movie was that it really took the mick out of action movies, and really Arnold Schwarzenegger in the role of Jack Slater really took the mick out of himself, which was just like priceless. So like how they just drive over a river, even though it's ridiculously, stupidly impossible, and like how he drives terribly and the consequences are caused. And I'm not explaining it very well, but there is quite a lot of comic bits which are kind of just in the background to the film. But one thing I really didn't like about this, because I said as he gets transported into the movie, the way the plot developed to do this is by, like, the old owner of the cinema had a ticket he was given by Houdini when he was a boy, and it was gold, but he's always been too afraid to tear the ticket. You know, like when you go to a cinema, they tear your ticket. He's always been too afraid to do that, and it's all quite terrible and doesn't feel real at all. No, obviously it doesn't feel real, but I mean it's just not a good storyline. And then he tears it, and then loads of really terrible 90s video lightning comes along, and he gets through it. Which I think it was a pretty bad part of the film. And to be honest, for me, this film goes on just too long, because the story twists even more when Danny's in Jack Slater's world, where the evil villain, because obviously it follows the transition of the Jack Slater film, but he's inside it, so it's like a real life, very confusing filmception thing going on there. But yeah, the twist comes in again, where the evil drug dealer steals the ticket and gets into the real world, and then gets people to try and kill the real Arnold Schwarzenegger in the real world. But then the Jack Slater Arnold Schwarzenegger saves the real Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it gets very, very confusing. And I really don't think this film needed to go on for that extra half an hour of that quite, what was going to happen in the end kind of plot. Even though the most of the film was fairly predictable, I don't think it needed that. It just kind of made it slightly unbearable for me. So yeah, let's just check I've said everything. Yeah, so I like the way this film took the mick out of itself, but it was too long. And obviously one thing also was quite enjoyable about the actual in-film world was that everything was just blown out of proportion as well. For example, like the actual like police station or cop thing, as they say in America, is just like crazily souped up with like loads of hot girls wearing leather and and like crazy cartoon characters, which is quite weird, but it kind of works with this film. So yeah, overall, I think I've covered everything. Yeah. I think I've covered everything. I'd probably give this film 5.5 stars, 5.5 moustaches out of 10. I would have to say, though, if you sound slightly interested in what I've been saying about this film, I really recommend you should watch it, because my explanation of the plot might not be that fantastic, so you might want to watch it yourself, but unless I otherwise than that, I probably wouldn't recommend this film. I hope you've enjoyed watching this review. If you want to leave a like, that would be awesome, or a comment or anything. It's really awesome that I'm getting quite a few subscribers from this, and also whenever people like leaving support is really awesome. So thank you guys, and I'll see you all on Tuesday, so I'll probably do the video on Monday, so goodbye.